Hey, this is Adina Vine, and you can catch my new song, What If We Run Out of Gas, available everywhere. This is On The Porch with Front Porch Music.
I think you very casually grazed over a sentence where you said, right after I lost my leg.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And that doesn't have to be your entire story, but
Sure,
do you want, can we
I
go
don't
back to
mind
that for a
diving into
second?
that. Yeah, 100%.
Hey everyone, Logan here, and welcome back to On The Porch with Front Porch Music. I'm excited to bring you another fantastic episode. We are joined today by the Cottage Springs Country Rising contest winner, Mac Rumbolt. Mac's journey from a small town in Nova Scotia to making waves in the music industry is truly inspiring. We'll explore his passion for music, the pivotal moments that shaped his career, and this is an episode that you don't want to miss. There's a moment in our conversation that left both Jenna and me with our jaws on the floor. He has been through so much, and his story of resilience and determination is one that you won't want to miss. So grab your headphones and get ready for our chat with Mac Rumbolt. Do 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 do.
We've been having some crazy wildfires and stuff like that going around. So, I mean, it'd be nice to get some rain, but we haven't got much lately. But
Yeah, honestly, I'm downtown Toronto, and this is the first 2 days of rain we've had, I think, all summer, it feels like. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like a desert out there. Hey.
Yeah. Okay, so we are on the porch today with Mac Rumbolt. And if you don't know Mac, you sure as shit will soon. Okay, so where exactly? You're in Nova Scotia. Where are you from?
I'm
Set the scene for
from
us.
Hantsport, Nova Scotia, which is like a small town in the valley. There's like population 1,100 people when I was growing up. I think they might be up to like 14 or 1,500. They're growing a bit, but not much. So I live here in like kind of like New Minas, Kentville, Port Williams area. It's another place in the valley. Farm fields and a lot of country living. Everybody knows everybody kind of thing, you know. So yeah.
Are you a farmer? Do you farm?
No, I'm not. No, personally not.
What do you do?
I work as a care worker actually right now, full time at a facility in Waterville, which is about 20 minutes away from where I live now. But I work with special needs on a behavioural unit. So I've been doing that for the last 4.5, 5 years, something like that, while pursuing music, of course, all at the same time, kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
But got to pay bills, you know what I mean, and do something that's meaningful and make me feel, you know, like you're contributing to some sort, you know what I mean, doing something.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, why don't you introduce yourself to us and to our listeners? You're fairly new to the scene, at least for us here. How'd you get into music, all that stuff?
Well, I'd probably start back, like I started playing guitar when I was about 5 years old. My stepfather taught me how to play, you know, the cowboy chords and stuff like that. Moving forward,
Wait, let's talk about the cowboy chords because that's funny.
Okay, sure, yeah.
What are the
Cowboy
cowboy chords?
chords, I would say it'd be like a G, C, and a D. You know what I mean? Like really basic, but you know, it gets you a lot of songs. And
Sure does.
you know, like the first cool song was like "Sweet Home Alabama." That was, you know, I thought that was cool as hell playing that. But yeah. So I guess moving forward, sorry, my older sister sang like her whole life. Ever since she was young, she'd sing in the toy vacuum and stuff like that to the Spice Girls, I think it was. But, so anyway, she was really the singer. So I'd end up playing guitar for her, and I'd learn her songs. And then she was a little bit of a songwriter. Over the years, I got into playing like AC/DC. I was really, you know, into that kind of thing, playing electric guitar. Fast forward, when I was 18, after I lost my leg, I dove into like songwriting and trying to teach myself how to sing, and is just pouring your heart out into the page and trying to work through some things that in a creative way, I guess you could say, right? So I started doing that, and that would have been, you know, a few years back. Started putting my videos out there on Facebook and stuff, and you get a couple likes here and there, some original songs that I'd write. And then I ended up seeing this Country Rising contest presented by Cottage Springs on Facebook. It was an ad, And I was sitting on my couch, just got home from work. I was scrolling through Facebook, and I was kind of just, having a blah day, trying to figure out what I should do moving forward for the next steps for like my music, because it's very, I'm passionate about playing guitar and singing, and something it's been a dream of mine. But so yeah, I applied for that contest. Didn't expect anything back, and then I ended up getting an email from Starseed Entertainment, and got a Zoom call, and then they ended up picking me as a finalist in the contest. And I don't know if you guys want me to carry on with that whole story and move forward with that, but
I think you very casually grazed over a sentence where you said, right after I lost my leg. And, and that doesn't have to be your entire story, but
sure,
what do you want? Can we?
Yeah, I don't mind diving into that. Yeah, 100%.
What happened?
So when I graduated high school here, I had like a dream. I always wanted to work on motorcycles, and I liked Harley Davidson motorcycles specifically. But there's only one school in Canada, and that's up in like Fairview, Alberta. It's like way up, like an hour north of Grand Prairie, I think. So anyway, I got accepted to that school, went there, moved out there, worked in Edmonton just for a little bit, save some money to pay for college and apply for some bursaries and stuff like that. So I ended up going to the college, and 5 weeks into the program, I was going down to do some studying Sunday afternoon in April, and ended up getting shot in a drive-by shooting. So yeah.
What the fuck? That's not what I thought you were gonna say at all.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking crazy, isn't it? It's it's not what you expect, I suppose. Like I get that, I get that response a lot, but yeah, man.
Started with motorcycles, and that's not where I thought it was gonna go.
Neither. I thought we were going with a motorcycle accident and you lost your leg. No. What the fuck?
Yeah,
that must have been
I didn't know anybody out there. I've never lived out there, and afterwards, of course, after getting shot and going through all of that, you end up doing a little research about the town, or you check out Google and see like, Jesus, this shit happen often out there. But I guess in Grand Prairie, there's been, several shootings that happens out there. And of course, I never thought of that. You come from a small town, 1,100 people, wasn't the first thing on my mind that I thought I was going to encounter, right? So that kind of just took me for a whirlwind of, life change in an instant. You know what I mean? It was kind of crazy.
Was music one of the outlets that helped you kind of like get through that? Because 100%. I imagine that must have been a wild recovery and just everything.
Oh yeah, dude. Like I ended up, you get admitted to the hospital. Like I got helicopter phone because I ended up getting a bullet clip me in the back of the head too. I don't get into that whole story either, but it's like I'm very, very lucky. You know what I mean? Like, but I got airlifted to the hospital, and then you go through the whole process of seeing if they could save my leg. But the damage was so bad to the ankle because I ended up getting a bullet hit me right in the ankle bone. But it just demolished my ankle, and it was kind of like a 50-50 shot of them saving it with all the surgeries. You might be walking with a really brutal limp and a lot of pain. At 18, I had to make the decision myself even. So it's like that was another like holy shit moment, right? I was in there for like a month, and then I said, I think I'm going to go through with it and get the amputation. Ended up doing that, and then, while I was in the hospital, it was really cool. I had a couple of buddies come in, they'd bring me a guitar. I'd sit there and play guitar and harmonica and stuff, and, you'd have the nurses and the doctors in there listening and thinking that's kind of cool, right? But that helped a lot. And then getting out of the hospital, that's all I did, man. Just played guitar and tried singing a bit, I didn't know if I sounded good or if you sound like shit, you know what I mean? But you kind of kept doing that, and then I'd try to write some songs, and then, you meet some people here in the valley that, are into music, and you kind of start hanging out, and you hear how they sing and write songs maybe. And it just kind of went from there, man. I just dove in. I became obsessed about it because it was such an outlet for me going through that painful time that it made me feel normal, made me feel like my life wasn't so fucked up, you know what I mean, at the time. But yeah, it's amazing what doors have opened up, man. I've been praying for, a sign for a long time when you think about if you're doing something right or not. And it's like, I've just been taking it all in. I'm very grateful. It's unreal, man.
This is a crazy transition situation happening in my head right now. Did you finish school or Wes, or no?
I didn't end up finishing the program because it was only a short program, which was wild, but it was 15 weeks, I think it was, and it was like $10,000, and you just get like a Harley Davidson technician training that's needed to do their services, and then you go get a job at a Harley shop or something, right? But of course, 5 weeks in, I mean, you get shot, and then I have to go through surgery, and it was like, well, I'm not going back there. You know what I mean?
No,
get me out of here.
Yeah, I was like not into that. But
so, how did you end up finding what you do now with behavioral care?
Well, actually, I had a buddy of mine that the same guy that brought the guitar into me in the hospital. Actually, he was a CCA for a long time, and he was working in care facilities and stuff like that over the years. And then he mentioned to me, he said, you know, man, I think you got like a good personality for this. I think you could handle something like this, because you have to be a certain type of person to be able to deal with some of the behaviors that happen and go at it, you know, taking it like a grain of salt kind of thing, right? So I gave it a shot, and I was like, geez, you know, this ain't bad. There's a lot of lovely people that you work with, supportive people, and people like yourself that are just, you know, there to try to help people. You know, help them have a successful day despite their circumstances, you know. And that's what that's what got me into it. I haven't left since, you know. So it's just something I stuck with, I suppose. I didn't feel like changing it. Other than playing music, that was something that I did every moment I had outside of work for, you know, people call it a hobby or a passion, or, you know, it's just what I do, if that makes sense.
When was the moment you knew that you wanted music to be more than just a hobby?
Oh man, I'd say probably since I was like 13. I feel like 13 was when I was like, man, at the time I thought, geez, I could just be like a rock and roll guitarist or something, you know what I mean? Get up there and kick some ass and play some guitar. But the singing and stuff like that came in, like I said, after I lost my leg, but it's always kind of just been in the back of my mind, man. I've always wanted to do it. It's helped me through a lot of life experiences, even as a kid, you know, having a little bit of a dysfunctional life. And then, of course, having that crazy traumatic experience when I was 18. It's just always been there and helped me so much, and just always put a smile on your face, you know, or help you cry it out if you're playing a sad song. You know, you might have a couple of tears drop on your guitar, and you're like, geez, it's a relief, you know, you're working through some shit. And yeah, man.
That's what I love about music too. There's just like music for literally every situation. I love
everything. Yeah, you're mad, you're happy, you're sad, everything.
So when you're writing music now, do you come from a place of like connecting with people over shared experiences and healing, and music being that, or is it like all sources of like inspiration?
I would say a little bit of everything. I mean, at first it was definitely some sad, dark songwriting that, you know, I got a lot of songs that you write that you might never ever play for anybody, but definitely working through some pain. And then once you work through that pain, and life becomes a little better, you know, you start writing things that are inspiring to you, that might be joyful, that you're experiencing, hanging out with some buddies, having a beer, or, you know, buying your first house, or things like that. Just, I try to grab from everywhere that's real, if that makes sense, you know what I mean? Or if you're going through a fucked up time in life, you might write a song about, you know, getting beat up, but you just keep going, kind of thing, right?
Do you have songs that you've written when you were younger and you look back and you're like, oh, those are terrible, knowing what I know now?
Yeah. When I first started writing a couple songs, I read the lyrics and I'm like, they're not too bad. Like, you're on the right track, but definitely as you do it, as a repetition, you get better. And it's like, fine, once you break through this one door, you're like, oh, you look at things differently a little bit. Because when you first start writing a song, in my experience, is like, nobody taught me how. I don't know if it's the thing that people teach you or not, but you think this is how you're supposed to do it. And then you're like, oh, wow, I could do it kind of whatever way I want to. And that's kind of how I've gone about it, I suppose.
Jenna, your audio's gone.
I can't hear you, Jenna.
Because I went on mute because I was going to sneeze, and then I didn't sneeze, and I sat here.
There you go, you're back.
We one time did a whole episode recording almost with Logan on mute, and me and the guest didn't even notice. We were just talking. Logan's
so
like, "What's going on?"
They were all talking over me. No one was answering a question I had.
And I was like, "What about me, man?"
I was getting so mad.
And halfway through, he comes on. He goes, "Oh, I was on mute," and we were like, "Hey, welcome to the convo."
And meanwhile, Jenna was like also getting mad. Like, "Come on, Logan, participate. Help carry it here."
Literally. Anyways, good throwback. That was probably like a year ago now. Anyways, what was I asking? When you think back on all of this, like these life experiences that you've packed into what? How old are you? 26?
27.
You're 20. You've packed in some like
birthdays. I think this Sunday. I'll be 28. Pretty close.
Say I think it's this Sunday.
Yeah, I think it's Sunday. It's 24th. I mean, it sounds funny, but it's like that's a whole nother story. I didn't grow up celebrating every birthday, but that's a whole nother story.
Well, hopefully you're celebrating 28. When you think about like all these things that you've packed into literally 28 years of life, what are like some of the like artists and songs that really were part of that, and like the music that you listened to? You've already mentioned the AC/DC thing. We were at a festival this weekend asking people what song reminds you of your 12-year-old self. So like things like that.
Wow, like going back, throwback to when you're a teenager kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit.
We got some funny ones. We had some like
I'd say like Thunderstruck by AC/DC. I don't know why. I just always think of like when I was in my early teens there, that would be a song,
Yeah.
you'd rock out to. Because you're just amped up playing sports, and I just loved rock and roll. I mean, I grew up listening to country too, of course, but it's just like I went through a little bit of that rock and roll phase.
Yep. Yep.
Everybody's got to have a little bit of it, I think.
We've all been there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, for me, I watched Detroit Rock City, the movie, and was like, because it's this whole story about Kiss, and I was like, this is so cool. And then I just went into the 70s, 80s rock for like a year.
I don't think I watched that. I got to check that out.
Should watch it.
Yeah.
It might suck. Honestly, I'm not sure. Like I was really young when I watched this and thought it was really cool. So I'm not giving you a positive rec. I'm just saying that's what it did for me.
That's okay.
Nothing says, here's my recommendation, like, it might suck.
It might suck, but it might be great.
I think from what I recall, my brother and I watched it so many times in a row that it must have been good, or else my parents would have been like, turn that off. Like, maybe I recommend it, maybe just proceed with caution, I think.
Yeah, I might check it out. I'll check it out.
Yeah. It's like Logan's never seen 8 Mile. Have you seen 8 Mile? You have to.
Yeah, I've watched that probably.
Which is nuts, because I was obsessed with Eminem. Like,
were you? Yeah.
I had all of his like albums. I mean, I had to steal them because I wasn't allowed to have them in the house because rap music's for the devil.
Oh yeah. But I had a CD. I think my mother made me throw it out when I was, I don't know, I would have been like 10 or 11. I went through a phase of Eminem too. I mean, I think he's pretty great. He's very lyrical, and I mean, it's unreal.
It was never my parents that made me get rid of music. It was always like my friends' parents. They're like, that's from the devil.
The devil's music, eh? Oh, yeah. Man.
I think isn't it all considered the devil's music?
I mean, blues back in the day was the devil's music too, I guess.
Exactly.
I mean, I love the blues too. I listen to a lot of blues music.
Yeah. Did you grow up playing sports?
Yeah, like I grew up playing soccer was my primary one that I played. Played that for, probably like from 5 until 13, I think. And I got into I played baseball a little bit. I think I played like 2 seasons or something. Our team kind of fell apart because we didn't have a coach. When you come from a small town, you got limited resources. But anyway, played basketball for a few years. Really loved that. I even tried volleyball at one point. Got MVP for volleyball. I thought that was kind of cool.
I tried it and I was the MVP. That's funny. I know, I come from a pretty small town too, and we had to, in order to have teams, the boys and the girls had to play together, and somebody's parent had to commit to coaching for ever, or else we wouldn't have a coach either. So
yeah, it was very similar like that actually too for soccer. I mean, I think it's normal though, isn't it? Like girls and boys playing soccer until 10, I think, something like that.
I mean, it was difficult because I also played hockey with boys, but I was learning to play hockey and playing with boys, so it was a little.
That'd be rough.
It was a little rough when you're just learning, but I think it made me able to take a hit better when it was actually, you know?
Yeah, make it tough. Thick skin, hey.
Yeah.
It explains a lot, actually.
Oh my God.
He doesn't know me yet, Logan. Don't say things like that.
You're right.
Okay, so this Cottage Springs contest kind of fell into your lap at like an interesting time. Then it seems like you've been kind of like, how am I going to make this happen? And then, I mean, the form was pretty easy to fill out. I looked at it, not for myself at all. Let's be clear. Yeah. But I was like, oh, okay, this is an easy thing for people to apply to. So like, you stumbled upon an ad on Facebook.
Yeah.
That is crazy. So you apply. I think you had to put a video, like a link to a live video.
There's two videos of you playing like an acoustic version of, I think it had to be original music from what I remember.
I think so
I'm
too.
pretty sure it was like 2 original songs, and then it was like attach your Instagram, your YouTube, your TikTok, and have like maybe a couple videos from there.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had to have a minimum of like 2 songs on Spotify, actually. That's what I do remember. And the reason why is because I only have 3.
I was going to say, you have 3 as far as I looked up.
the only reason I was able to even apply is like my buddy, Jake, that I did a couple of those songs with, and we produced it with Josh Kelly in Halifax, which is, just up in the city. But if it wasn't for him getting those songs recorded, I probably wouldn't have been able to apply to the contest in that sense. Like, it was kind of unreal because I was like, oh shit, I need two songs. I only got 3. I was like, I'm lucky because I'm able to just slide in that application. You know what I mean?
And then you get a call one day that you're part of the top 3?
Mm-hmm. No, what happened was it was like they did like a quick little interview Zoom call kind of thing. And I applied, and what was really funny is like I applied 2 days before they closed the application, and it was open for like a bit, like a month or something. Yeah, and I just stumbled across it, and I was like, "Oh, sweet, man!" I was like, "There's 2 days left. I'll send this in." And I'll be honest, I really didn't know if it was real or not. Like, you see a lot of fake shit on Facebook, so I wasn't sure. But I kind of forgot about it, sent it in, and I was like, "Oh, I made some step towards what I want for music, whether it's right or wrong. It doesn't matter. I made a forward step that day." And then it was like a week went by, I think. And then I got an email from Allie, and she was like, hey, can we get on a Zoom call? Just ask you a few questions. And I was like, oh, shit. I was like, cool, this is amazing. I was like, I checked them out, and I was like, oh, this is like legit. I was like, this is real, like real record company. And so anyway, I took the call, and they asked me a few questions about me, my story, and just music. And then I think 4 or 5 days went by, and then I ended up being one of the top 4.
And that was it. Like, what happened after that?
After the top 4,
we know nothing about this competition other than we saw people selected, and then we saw a winner.
So it was kind of quick, and then a week goes by, and they get a Zoom call, and then 4 days go by, and they send me an email. Congrats, you're a finalist. You're going to be flying out to Windsor, Ontario, to play a hockey fest and open up for Griffin Palmer and Nate Haller. You'll get, to meet the Reklaws there, the Starseed Entertainment team. Most of them will be there. It's a big effing stage, like right on the water by Detroit. And I was like, holy shit, right? But anyway, it happened so fast because it was like, you got to fly out in like 10 days or something like that. And I was like, holy shit, right? Like,
I gotta go to work.
I've never done anything.
I gotta put in a vacation request.
Yeah, like I'm gonna have to tell my manager, like I got something important I gotta go to. I ended up doing that, flew out there. I took my other half with me, and we stayed in a hotel for a couple nights. First time playing on a stage like that, and I always tell everybody, like, explain how big it was for me. It was like I could fit 3 of my houses on it. It was just like, I was like, man, this is unreal, right?
What was the feeling of walking onto that stage and looking out?
I was like, holy shit, you feel so small.
Yeah,
but at the same time, you're like, that's where people are going to be looking. So you're like, wow, It's it's a lot to take in when you play. Like, I've only played, in front of 100 people, or like small little, stages, and not very many. Like, I haven't even played live that many times. Like, some people have grinded it out like 2 times a week for like 5 years. And that's something I've, I'd like to get more under my belt, which that's my plan moving forward. But you know, you get used to playing in your bedroom to your dogs or yourself, and then you really step out of your comfort zone, and you're like, holy shit, man. I gotta
Were you
figure it out.
nervous?
Oh yeah, I was definitely nervous. Yeah, I was nervous because Jenna and Stu watched my set or part of my set, and then you got, you know, the whole record label was there, most of the team, and I mean, like for me, like I said, like that's like a once in a lifetime opportunity to even get the phone call to say they want to ask me a couple questions meant so much to me. Like, wow, I must have been decent enough because you don't know, like you don't know sometimes if you're.
How's your hometown crowd now that you've won this contest? Is this like, are they over the moon excited and like you're a superstar now or what?
Yeah, it's really it's really cool. It's a lot to take in because you're like sometimes you'll just go to the grocery store and you'll run into somebody that you haven't seen in a few years and they're like, man, congrats. You know, that's amazing. I was voting for you every day. And I'm just like, you know, you give them a hug. You're just like, thanks so much for all the support. Like, it just means a lot, right? Because sometimes there's people that you don't even know. Like, I'll go to work and I remember during the contest, especially once the voting was ended, it was like getting asked probably by like 15, 20 people a day. People would be like, you know, how's the contest going? And then once you win, it's like, congrats, 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 congrats. I was voting for you. I was voting for you. And then they share your videos and, you know, it's amazing. A lot of support, you know, and then you go to the meat market up the street to get some steak and stuff for a barbecue. And buddy there said, hey, are you a country singer? And I was like, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah,
and
I
he's
am
like,
now.
well, my daughter thought she recognized you. Did you win some award or a contest or something? We seen you on TV, blah, blah, blah. He said, can I get a couple autographs? I was like, cool, man. I was like 100%. So he brings over like a sheet of the meat wrap, and I signed like 2 pieces of meat wrap. Like, I'm like, man, this is fucking awesome. I was like, wow. Like, so supportive. Coming from a small town, you're just like, holy shit, that's great, man.
Tell me that's the first things that you've autographed is meat wrap.
No, I mean, actually, that wasn't the first one, but it would be in the first batch because the first one I got to sign, it was at the Hockey Fest. This girl would have been maybe like 14, 15 with her mother, came over and said, hey, can I get a picture with you and can you sign this? Can I get your autograph or something? And I was like, wow, that was really cool. First time ever. That was my first ever.
You're like, I don't
giving an autograph.
How do I do it? I haven't practiced.
I was like, I don't even know what I'm doing. Like, should I write my whole name? You know what I mean? So I kind of narrowed it down. I'm like, okay, I'm going to do my initials. I was like, I think that's a smart way to go, you know?
Efficient.
Because I don't want to write out like Mac Rumbolt. I mean, you can. Like some people probably do, but
Mac's not the longest name in the world, but you know.
No, it's not too bad, right? I mean, it's short for Mackenzie. I don't know if a lot of people know that either, but my full name is Mackenzie. Nobody calls me that, but you know, except my girlfriend when she's upset. But
yep, that's how it goes.
Yeah, I'm just as part
of the prize, you got to open for the Reklaws at the Kee To Bala, which is a really cool venue that has a lot of history in it. It's also in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, when you were on your way there to the Key, was there like, where are we going? Is anyone even going to show up to this thing? Was that going through your head?
No, I mean, I was like, the Reklaws name is on the thing. Like, people will show up for them for sure. But when I was driving there, I was like, man, this is kind of like way out in cottage country. You know what I mean? You're like driving and driving. Like, I got the GPS. I'm like, geez, like, where the hell is this place, right? And then you get to it, and you're like, oh, sweet, check this out, on the waterfront. And there's like a couple little, I think maybe like a little bar next door or something like that. And people were hanging out. And it's like, this is kind of like a really chill spot with a lot of history. You know what I mean? I thought it was really amazing. Like, you walk in, you're like, holy shit, like all the old wood, like just, you can tell it's old because it was, well, I guess it was like 1947 or something like that. I think it would have been built. But
the best part about the Kee To Bala,
away from falling.
Yeah, like the best part about the Key is that it feels like it's at risk of falling over at any minute, and that's part of the fun.
Yeah, it definitely had that older vibe. You know what I mean? Yeah, definitely.
How was that experience of opening for the Reklaws?
It was unreal. You go out, and of course, like, I went up, I think it would have been like 9:15. So it was a little later. And I guess that's how they do things there at the Kee To Bala, because, a lot of people want to hang out at their cottages and stuff until the sun goes down, and then they're ready to party and have a couple drinks, listen to some music, right? Rock out. I had a sound check, first time like having like a sound check playing with a band. First time I've ever played with a band in this type of setting. Like we rehearsed with them one time, Tuesday the same week. And, the best drummer, bass player, guitar player I've ever heard in my life. Like, just incredible musicians.
Did you play with the Reklaws band?
Yeah. So it was their drummer, guitar player, and actually instead of Ben at the rehearsal, it was Stu, a different Stu. But he was amazing too. But he couldn't make it to the Kee To Bala, so Ben ended up playing guitar instead, and he was amazing as well. Mm-hmm. But I did sound check, and they're having a little bit of a delay, and that happens, with music and stuff like that, because they just got their set up. And the sound guy comes over and says, it's going to be the quickest sound check you'll probably ever do in your career, he said. So I had like 3 minutes, I think. And
I have nothing to compare it to. This is probably all the time in the world.
Yeah, I was like, it's all good. I'll figure it out, and I've never used in-ears. That's like something I haven't used. So, a bigger venue like that. Someday, like, I'll try them and learn and figure it out, but it's a little bit of a learning curve, I'm sure. But I just had the floor monitors, so we set those up, and you're trying to set the levels, and you got 3 minutes, and I'm like, I only played with these guys on Tuesday, but I know that I can rely on them because they're so damn good that, I felt confident in them. They're pros. They know what the hell they're doing. But I was just more worried about me. I was like, making sure I remember the transitions and the
make
words.
Sure you're a pro.
Make sure I got it figured out, hopefully enough, right? But fast forward, ended up playing that night. I walked out, and I was like, holy shit, man. Like, all the people. I don't know how many people were there, but playing in front of like 150 people was most I've ever played in front of before that. It was like an adrenaline rush that it was unreal.
It's also
like, as soon
as
you start singing,
too.
you just go out, you're like, wow, man. Like, yeah, like everybody's head is,
I know, it's so high up. It's like you're like floating above everyone. I don't know why.
Yeah, that's the first thing I noticed when I walked in, when I was seeing Stu and Jenna doing their sound check. I looked up and I was like, holy shit, man. I was like it's way up there. Like it's high.
Don't fall.
Yeah. It's like you break a leg for sure.
So now is that like a feeling you're ready to like chase? Is that that adrenaline rush? But like
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, I had that feeling of just wanting to chase it and knowing that feeling is probably amazing and wanting to have a taste of it. But now that you have a taste of it, you're like, oh man, I can't wait to get out there and play again with a band,
So what is the plan now? You've opened for them in Bala 2 nights. You've got you're starting to figure out your stage legs a little bit, which is really exciting. So what's the plan?
So next, I'd say a big one for me is I get to go to the CCMAs next month. Are you guys going to that?
Yeah.
Because I know
see you there.
Get like an award or something.
We're nominated.
Yeah, see, I was going to say, I seen that. And I was like, man, that's amazing. That's too cool.
Yeah.
So you guys will be there.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll see you there. We'll have to have a
Some
drink.
new pals in the crowd.
Yeah, 100%, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So I get meet some people and hang out with you guys a bit, I'm sure. And then I'd say over the next few months, the plan is to get down to Nashville and do some recording and hopefully get a couple songs out, or a song out at least in the near future.
Nice.
That's the goal, right?
It is part of the prize, like putting music out, right?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. What was the prize? Remind me.
So right off the bat, it was $10,000. You get Starseed Entertainment development program.
Okay.
So basically, like, you have some vocal coaching with some amazing, vocal coach. And then you'll have the contract for recording music. And then you also get to open up for the Reklaws those 2 nights in a row.
I mean, that's a pretty big prize.
I'm sure
that's
like
pretty
a lifetime
big,
supply of
but
Cottage Springs.
Yeah, like, I mean, Cottage Springs, I'm kind of repping one of their shirts right now, actually, but they gave me some merch and dropped off, like a lot of booze, and it's really nice of them. You know what I mean? It's really nice. Like, I'm very thankful. It's unreal, man.
That's fun. You have to be the party house probably then for the foreseeable future if you've got a good stock.
Yeah, probably. Hey.
Yeah. You got the 10K and you got the booze. What else do you need?
I mean, honestly, it's like,
That's a good party. That's a good
big
party.
party.
it's a good start to having a party.
He's not spending $10,000 on parties, unless he is.
No, definitely not. No, got a lot more other priorities for sure.
And if you are, I want an invite at least.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll let you guys know for sure. I'll shoot you a message if I have a party. I was gonna say it's a little bit of a long stretch for you guys, but
Yeah.
We do it. We've been stuck in the car with each other before. It's fine.
Yeah. Oh,
We're coming up to the end of our time here. But we're really looking forward to meeting at the CCMAs and also hearing what's next for you and in terms of hearing some new music.
Yeah, man. It was really nice meeting you guys. Thanks for having me.
Thanks
I really
for letting us
appreciate
be
you
your
guys
first
reaching out.
podcast.
That's too cool. This is my first
So fun.
one. Yeah.
So fun. Only more from
That's
here. We'll
awesome.
have to do a 1-year meet back.
Recap. Hey? Yeah.
Once you've got your bearings and see what you've learned. We'll have to
that'd be
get your
amazing.
take. Yeah.
I'd love that. Yeah. I'm already learning so much now. It's like unreal. I can't imagine in a year's time. Like I'm excited,
Yeah.
Really excited.
Lots to be excited about.
Thanks for listening to another episode of On The Porch with Front Porch Music. We're so lucky to be able to chat with artists and make episodes like this one. If you like the podcast, remember to rate and review us, and subscribe so you don't miss an episode. It's the easiest way to support the show. Remember to check out frontporchmusic.ca to keep up with new music releases, exclusive artist interviews, and more. We'll catch you again on The Porch in a couple of weeks. On The Porch is hosted by Logan Miller and Jenna Weiser, and produced and edited by Jason Saunders. That's me. Our theme song was written, produced, and performed by Owen Wrigley.